And we are live. Now, before I actually start playing the game, I would like to remind everyone, in case they did not see this community post I made, I did some grinding afterwards to try and catch a Mischievous, but unfortunately, I discovered the hard way that this game actually has a reset key. The F12, which is kind of a questionable decision since, if you're not aware, that's the key Steam uses for taking screenshots with its overlay. And I discovered the hard way when I accidentally hit it. I think I might have been trying to hit the delete key or something, but either way, I forgot to save after fighting Giovanni, so I ended up losing progress. The good news is that it was not is that I did get some stuff I did on the stream taken care of, and generally I was able to take care of all the stuff that happened on stream. It's just slightly different. Like, it would be like if I was driving from one place to another and I followed the same route, but like I took one or two different turns, if you get what I'm saying. The point is, you are going to see a slightly different team in this stream than you saw at the end of the last stream. Just letting everyone know. Oh, and the good news is I made sure that I saved. And also, I did everything, as mentioned, I did everything that I had at the start. Oh hey, Jolteon and Lucario actually has a pretty good fusion. Maybe if I do another run through of this game, I'll use that one next time. Let's see what Blasto... Oh, that actually is a pretty good fusion. Might use that as well. I've always found it odd that there isn't like a Steam Pokemon. I'm guessing that I need more than one file to show something different. Anyways, the difference you might notice, we finally have a Mischievous on the team. And I also have something in mind to fuse with Luxray. I've been leveling up this Mischievous. I think I should probably get it up one more level before I fuse it, if only so that I can use the regular splicers. There actually are a pair of splicers that let you fuse them infinitely. Use infinitely, not fuse infinite Pokemon. Like, I'm pretty sure there is... I know that there are some triple fusions. I have no idea what Pokemon those triple fusions would consist of. If I had to guess, probably like the starters and maybe like some of the legendary trios. But either way, hey, we will be fusing in the start of the Pokemon you chose, although I will not be evolving a Mischievous or the Mischievous Vulpix fusion, simply because, well, I want to get them to learn their last offensive moves, and let's see. And if I'm not and I know for Vulpix it's 41, but for Mischievous, let me double check. Yeah, 41. I mean, 55 is the last level Mischievous learns an offensive move, but that's Power Gem. Ooh, Mischievous can learn Phantom Food. Okay, that might be worth considering. Just debating on what the next one is. So, one other thing I've been debating recently, what major events do I want to stream? Because there's two that I've actually thought that might be good ideas for future streams. And these aren't going to be political. You're not going to see me go all CNN, especially since, if you don't know, they actually have reported some of their lowest ratings games. But the two events in question, and they are both ways away, are the trial of Sam Bankman-Fried. Ideally, for that one, I would find like some legal VTuber, either a VTuber who has a law degree or like one whose entire gimmick is they're a lawyer. Or I would just find like some attorney who'd like have nothing to do and would be up for coming on the stream. And I'd like react and ask them how things are. Obviously that would be at a different time than normal, since I don't think I have enough power to convince the court to schedule it at a time to be convenient. I don't think any streamer does. Like, I'm pretty sure even PewDiePie probably wouldn't be able to convince. It's like the US court system's like, I don't think, but that would be pretty funny if they did. The second is the Artemis mission, which that I would probably be much easier than my first idea, since I would just want like a space themed VTuber. Like, there's one I know of, Pandora Pixis, I believe her name is pronounced. Okay, let's see here. Also, it looks like I actually do not have any scuff at all. Like, compared to last stream where I ended up actually accidentally streaming on 2 streams somehow. I have no idea how, but if you look at my channel, well, you might be able to see how. Oh, like, the stream for Paranoia that I had originally planned, I ended up accidentally streaming over that. I have no idea how. Like, OBS lost its connection briefly, and it said that it led me to assume that I like hadn't gone live. Fortunately, I was able to reschedule that, and as you can see, my team is slightly different. So, let's see here. You know, one thing I'm genuinely curious is, like, you probably know that about the whole Aiden Ross fiasco, like how he got banned from Twitch. I'm not sure if he also got banned on YouTube, since there's an Aiden Live channel, but that could just be a clip channel, and I'm pretty sure that if that is the case, whoever would or is in charge of that would know what not to upload. But still, Critical made the joking suggestion that he could go to Facebook Gaming, and I have to ask, does anyone actually use Facebook Gaming? No, wait. No, actually, I think this should be fine. Maybe I should try and go for a grass ground type. I mean, I could use Torterra, but I prefer using a fusion. Is Torterra even in this game? I know Empoleon and Infernape are. So I would be very surprised if the answer was no, but it is entirely possible that it's not. Okay, Torterra is in this game. And, like, that would make sense. And it's like have 2 of the 3 starter lines in one generation, but in this game, but not in another. Still, I do have to wonder, how different would the game be if it took place in another region? Like, part of me wishes that it was, like, based on Heart Gold and Soul Silver, since those games were some of the peak, when Pokemon was arguably at its peak. Those 2 and Platinum, like, if someone was gonna ask me, hey, where should I start? I would recommend those games because, while it's true that they are slow, they are also very polished. And you could just, and if you don't have any moral qualms about it, just emulate it. It, like, the only thing you miss out on if you start it now as opposed to 06 now is the mystery game if events, and that is something that isn't really beyond that you can't really control. Just to be clear, you can hear me. I'm assuming that you are, since OBS is showing that I am that the system is picking me up, but like just want to make sure. Oh, I can do that. Can I? Okay, I can. Feels odd. I'm pretty sure that's the overworld model of, like, the office lady or something. I'm now wondering if there's any, like, rejected trainer classes. I mean, obviously there's probably some that the Pokemon Company or Game Freak just said, no, we're not even bothering, but, like, I wonder if there was, like, any that were, like, actually seriously considered but ultimately scrapped. Because they actually can't really think of anything. Like, maybe like a soldier class or something, since Lieutenant Surge aside. Unless you count out, like, the police as an extension of like the army or something. There isn't really an army in the Pokemon universe. Like, that honestly makes me wonder what a Pokemon RTS would look like, since... I mean, I could maybe see them making something like this game, since there actually was a strategy game that let you fuse Pokemon called Impossible Creatures. Excuse me a second. I do have that in my library, so if enough people are interested, I would be up for doing a playthrough of that. Like, it's a whole, like the aesthetic is feels very much like a throwback to like 1920s, 1930s films. I haven't, like, beaten the campaign, but, like, I have played the demo. Of course, that was back when I had my old PC, and before I knew what the hell Steam was. Oh hey, I can grind this one. Kinda surprised there's, like, a doctor class in it. Or trainer class or something. But yeah, like, Impossible Creatures was a very interesting idea. Like, it's the sort of thing that did not have the potential for a franchise, but it was at least something that was worthy for like one game. Although they could, if they had, like, introduced, or say, dinosaurs, they probably could have made a sequel. I wonder if anyone made a mod for the game with that concept. Also, speaking of old games that I could do a stream on, I recently stumbled upon a site with Abandonware, and they actually had the original Zoo Tycoon. Not the remake, mind you. The one from the early 2000s. And I'm pretty sure that And while I'm not entirely sure if, like, would do a stream, hold on a second. Let's see if there's been a zookeeper who's actually... Okay, there's... Oh, wow, there's one... Okay, huh. I actually found one I recognize. A streamer a VTuber I recognize who did the stream of Roller Coaster Tycoon, and there's someone who has a stream of the game scheduled for December, or even... That is definitely weird. Okay, I found like an edited video. Huh. I also found a pngtuber who did a playthrough of it. So I would say that it's definitely in the cards. And the format does actually work for, like, variety days, since, like, there are missions, but they're not interconnected, so... Maybe... I was thinking of doing, like, the second Paranoia game for next week, but I might actually do Zoo Tycoon, if I don't... Although I could also do Factorio. I've got options, is what I'm saying. I could also do Planet It Coaster, which is actually pretty fun. Like, that's more of a throwback to the third Roller Coaster Tycoon game. And, like, from what I understand, the most recent one is really disliked. I'm not sure or if I would have any legal troubles with Zoo Tycoon, since I think I have the disc for the original lying around, so if Microsoft comes a-knocking, I'll just point out, say, hey, I own it, and send them a photo of the disc. That should get them to back off. Is this a pure normal or normal fairy? Well, it doesn't matter either way. Which fusion do I want to go for? Mr. I think there's an ability to invert the fusion and so let's go for this. This is actually a bit of a hard one. And since, on one hand, since both of these abilities grant immunities, on the other hand, on one hand, Flash Fire is nifty. On the other hand, Levitate actually removes a weakness, so I'll stick with that. Normally I would ditch Will-O-Wisp, but the thing is when we get to Cinnabar, there's actually an optional area, like, I guess, dungeon, in where we will be able to get infinite splicers. I'm gonna actually head back to Lavit. Oh hey, Vermilion's actually closer. But I'm gonna head there for the simple reason that I can get the Pokemon I plan on fusing Luxray with. Oh yeah, I should probably mention, I forgot to take a screen cap of this, but during in some grinding off screen, I stumbled upon this area in the rock tunnel that led to what was basically a reference to the original Legend of Zelda. And I got this from the guy. Yes, he did say it's dangerous to go alone, take this. So, what did I end up deciding to fuse? Ooze Luxray or Electra with? Zoroark. If you want an idea of how much better off I am, like, it was around like 45k when I accidentally reset. Might have been lower. As you can see, I'm actually doing pretty good money-wise. I am going to keep Roselia on my team, and I will be fusing in it with a Chandelier. So that means I have Ghost and Poison covered, which means that so, realistically speaking, the only thing I have left is that grass is a grass. The only types I do not have covered are grass, ground, and flying. I could do without a flying type, but I would like a grass type. So it's going to be grass and one of those two. The team sprite for Casco kind of makes it look like it's a brunette mischievous. So, Finland is officially part of NATO, and I would sing Niet Molotov, but I am off to, like, celebrate, but I'd rather not butcher the pronunciation since the entire song isn't finished. Like, if someone reminds me later in the stream, I might actually try and see if like, can, like, find an English translation version to sing along to. But in other terms of music, I found like a cover of a Bond song I do plan on using for my debut. It's a cover of You Know My Name, and it's by somebody who isn't particularly huge, so I could probably negotiate a decent price. I'm not one of those people who believes in paying for exposure. Exposure should be a bonus, not the main payment. That is one weird-looking fossil cat. But yeah, the advantage, as I mentioned, Casco has a huge advantage in that in the Cinnabar Island dungeon, since the thing is, typing-wise, it's going to be mostly normal, and I'll have to fight like a level 100 fusion of Ditto and I think Mewtwo. So the guide I read online says just use just outlast it. Like, I mean, I can understand an artist wanting, like, you to credit them in addition to being paid. Like, that is something fair. And, like, if they're saying, hey, I'll do it for free, then that's a completely different issue. But, like, I'm not gonna say, oh, the privilege of people knowing your name is good enough. Like, I actually read this story online of this, like, woman who tried to use pain and exposure to pay her niece, and what ended up happening was she not only got divorced, since it turns out she had maxed out her husband's credit card to pay for a new Cadillac, but she also got charged for fraud since she was pretending to be a real estate agent. Oops. Confused the C and V keys. So while it's been a while since I watched an anime, I have been, like, meaning to get back in. Like, I'm debating if I want to wait for the for Bleach to, like, finish-ish, or if I want to just, like, jump in, since from what I understand, they do have most of the cast back. And I actually got curious looking into other ones, and I found a very interesting thing to note. You're probably familiar with the Kokoro Connect incident. And, well, the thing about that is, that was actually not something that was unprecedented. Like, it was unprecedented within Japan, but, like, there was something very similar that happened in the States. Except it wasn't with an animated series. This is not going to be like a Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon horror story. It was actually a reality TV show on Spike TV. By the name of the Joe Schmo Show. Basically, what happened was there were these contestants who were all pretending to be this guy's friend. Essentially gaslighting him, and when it was revealed, like, it was the sort of thing where, like, if I was in the guy's shoes, I would have refused the payment and sued Spike TV. Fortunately, he's doing much better nowadays, but he really got into a dark position and in life. Like, between that and that really bad alternate, ooh, hey! I Oh man, I need the HM for Surf. Well, at least I'll know to come back. But yeah, between that and this terrible alternate history Spike wrote, he showed that Spike tried to put out, but it backfired miserably since the history in question was basically about an Axis victory, but it basically it only works because A, it completely forgot about the Soviet Union. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't be opposed to watching it. It's just like it's something where if I may, or like, I guess like knowing that with the actor who was subject to the incident in question, like, he's in a better place now, like, I could probably eventually watch it, but you're not gonna see me like jump back into anime with it. Maybe I should look for a good movie first instead of a TV series. I have been meaning to do a rewatch of Pokémon Inverted. That was a really good movie. I like to joke that it's a romance between someone from New Zealand and someone from Australia because the plot is basically people who have opposing in gravity fall in love of, like, basically ones from the of, like, it's easier to watch than to explain, but it's pretty sweet. Maybe I should get into Satoshi Kon. Like, yeah, like, it's different, and I'd say that the Kokoro Connect incident is slightly better because the actor in question who was subject to it actually was able to, like recover and get a role in the series. He's since... Let me get it up on TV Tropes. Like, Mitsuru Ichiki fortunately had Tomokazu Sugita to help him expose the prank, so I would say it's not as bad as the Joe Schmo show. Oh, and he is doing better. Like, he's still getting roles, whereas with the Joe Schmo show, the guy actually, like, fell into, like, a really dark place, so I would say... This reminds me of one of those, like, Burger King black burgers that you sometimes saw, like, for Halloween. Never had one of those. Then again, I've... But yeah, Sugita strikes me as like a very good person in not just as a celebrity, but like as a person. Speaking of voice actors, you may know how, like, in the Ultra series for, like, the Ultraman, they'll, like, have... Yeah, I'm not really a fan of their burgers either. Or I probably would say that they're mid as well. Like, I would probably go there for my chicken if, like, nothing, if, like, the only options I had were, like, like McDonald's, Burger King, or making it yourself. But still, like, the strangest case of an anime of a voice actor from Japan was probably in one of the Ultraman movies. Like, I want you to think about people who you probably would not expect, like, to be, like, a voice actor. You don't even have to think of their name in this case, since I would be very surprised if, like, you knew that off the top of the head. But, like, think of people from certain lines of work who you probably would not expect to voice act in a movie. And keep that in your head. I'll give you a few seconds. Okay, the person I'm referring to was who was former Japanese Prime Minister or Junichiro Koizumi, and he actually he voiced Ultraman King in one of the Ultraman movies. Like, if you want an American example, imagine if George W. Bush voiced... If, like, there was an animated Power Rangers movie, and they cast George W. Bush for Tommy Oliver. Like, everyone was like, what the hell, man? Fortunately, the next time King reappeared, they actually got the guy who does the, like, hi-yahs for Link. And while it's debated if he was, like, up to the role in comparison to the guy who's most famous for voicing King. Like, Nobuyuki Hiyama, that's the guy who voiced Ultraman King and Geed. Like, the thing is, with Hayama, Ultraman Leo was one of his favorite Ultra series. He's an Ultraman fan, if you don't know. Oh, and second, Ultraman King is kinda known for being an older figure. Or whereas Hayama is like in his like 50s or 60s, so like yeah, it was like utterly confused. Like everyone, like, while there is some debate of Earth Hayama was like a good choice, like everyone is at least agreeing like, okay, fine. At least he's better than the guy who came right before him. I'm trying to think if there's, like, a comparable case in American animation. Like, I know that they've used, like, big-time voice actors for, like, some dubs of Ghibli movies. Like, John Krasinski was in The Wind Rises, and he actually did a pretty good job, but I don't think there's ever been, like, a case of a politician. Well, okay, there was Rudy Giuliani appearing on The Masked Singer, but, like, that's not animation per se. So I don't think that really counts. Like, honestly, what happened to Rudy Giuliani was wild. Like, he went from being one of the more beloved figures in the eyes of the public in terms of image to basically being a joke thanks to, well, everything he did politically and Borat too. Like, I'm pretty sure Nixon had a much better fall from grace than Giuliani. Since, I mean, at least Nixon... Okay, maybe I shouldn't go there since I don't know what shows would have been, like, the comparable back then. But still, the thing about the Joe Schmo show is, despite how, like, mean-spirited the final was, it actually came back for 2 more seasons. only one of them was consecutive, but still, like, that should have been the thing. And where, like, the exec should have, like, looked in a mirror or realized, what are we doing with ourselves, and after having, like, a breakdown. Is Mr. King psychic in poison or psychic in ground? I'm gonna guess psychic and poison simply because, well, actually, okay, psychic and ground. But yeah, the Prime Ministers of Japan are actually a very interesting study because one of the first, like, post-war, or as in post-World War II, Prime Ministers Japan had was Nobusuke Kishi, who was actually a war criminal. Like, this isn't like just like me saying that to slander someone, like, he was actually convicted. And he actually, and like, one of his, and like, I forget if it was his grandson or whatnot. Yeah, Kishi was the grandfather of Shinzo Abe, who, if that name sounds familiar, he was actually the prime minister up until pretty recently. And his reign only ended because, well, he was assassinated. Which is kind of surprising since you don't really hear about, like, high-profile assassinations of countries as big as, like, Japan. Like, I'm not saying that there should be more, I'm glad that there isn't, but, like, still, like, it was wild how out of place that was. As in the news cycle, like, everyone was, like, if the guy wanted to make a scene, he succeeded. I'm the guy who assassinated Abe, not Bobby. Keep this topic in mind for Friday. It may come back into play. Kinda wish that, like, the Hisui in Zorua was in the game. Like, that was such a cool design. I really hope they make another Legends Arceus style game. Admittedly, I also would have liked them to make another Pokemon Conquest game. Especially since, well, Gen 6, basically, it would have turned that on its head. And since, if you don't know, in that game, the character who basically Oruichi, I think is her name. Flees East because she, as her brother's Pokemon, dragon types are too powerful. But the funny thing is that if you don't know, Gen 6 is when fairy types made their debut, and Nobunaga's sister's signature Pokemon was Jigglypuff, which became part fairy type. So, a Gen 6 version of Conquest should have been the other way around. I will, but not now. Just talking to find out. There. But yeah, like... Mega Man here is actually going to be a really good choice for the upcoming gym because poison types are actually not very effective against fighting types. And that was actually what gave me such an edge against Giovanni the second time around. Arnix, his Onyx X Arbok fusion really did a number on Rock when it was a War Turtle Curlia fusion. When I had the rematch after I ended up wiping all the data, it was basically like the debut of Optimus Prime against Megatron, which, if you haven't seen it, it's worth watching the episode it happens in. I did not grow up with the Transformers cartoon, but I recently watched it out of curiosity, and it was actually surprisingly pretty interesting. It's different from the Bayformers, if that's all you're used to. I might actually just use Electra and Zoroark now if Zoroark doesn't learn anything in the next 8 levels. You know, funny story about in Black and White, in X and Y, not Black and White, there's actually a trans character at the Battle Mansion. And she mentions and how modern medicine really helped her transition. And the thing is, it's made even more explicit in the Japanese version, since it's mentioned how she just used to be a man, but in the Japanese version, she actually states she used to be the class I just fought, Black Belt. Kinda surprising how Pokemon was actually pretty forward on trans rights before. It's and it wasn't even forced. You actually, you could go the entire game without seeing it. I do have to wonder if X and Y were the games that were coming out. Would that cause a shitstorm on the internet, or would people just not realize it? Also, speaking of trans rights, something more people need to watch, Wandering Sun. Not only is it really good, but it's also pretty pro-trans. Definitely a better choice for trans rep than Himigoto. I sat through all 12 episodes of that series once. I am not gonna... get that time back, although it was less than an hour of my life, so nothing really I can do. It was just very mean-spirited. I would not recommend it to anyone, even my worst enemy. You know, considering that that Ash's tenure in the Pokemon anime is over, I do have to wonder if they'll do anything different, because there are some Pokemon that have just not appeared in the anime. You're probably familiar with the Porygon incident, with how Porygon like caused a bunch of seizures. The thing is, though, that's actually misblamed, since, first of all, it was actually Pikachu's attack, not Porygon's, that caused all the seizures. And second, it was also the... Okay, so basically, Torment. If I evolved it now, like, I would be skipping Torment. You know what? That's not... I don't really use that move, so let's fuse Oozum, shall we? I should probably take the XP share off. Level 35 is good enough. Honestly, I would have been fine if they'd kept Zoroark's sprite, but given it Luxray's colors, but... Illusion or Intimidate? You know what? Illusion's more unique, so let's keep that. Yeah, like, there's this ROM hack called Blaze Black, and I think Volt White was the counterpart for Pokemon White. It retyped like Luxray to Electric and Dark, and you have no idea how much I wish that was the default type combination in the base game. It works so well. So I've decided that I will fuse this Roselia, or rather Roserade, with a Chandelure, so that means that I technically have 5 Pokemon, so... No, wait, yeah, I do have... like, with... the Salamence Aggron on, like, all of them chosen, like... Honestly, I unfortunately will not be able to have a grass type or ground type, but hey, those things happen. Plus, I can always just teach something on my team Earthquake, so... I mean, when I played through Platinum, I used an Azelf that knew Fire Blast, and so that would kind of be a throwback. That kind of reminds me of that bird from that one Pixar art short, like the For the Birds one. Different colors, obviously, but I mean, like, the facial expression, like... You know the one I'm talking about, where all those, like, small birds see that, like, derpy bird, so they decide to, like, basically convince him... He, like, cause him to lose his grip, only to realize that they basically turned the power line they're on into a giant crossbow. That's a funny skit. It... Kinda wish Pixar did that with more movies. Admittedly, I haven't seen any of their recent outputs, but still, like... That was... And this Nah, wait. I should rewatch that once I'm done with the stream. It's not too short, too long. I cannot go around you, unfortunately. So yeah, Casco will be staying in its format as is until... Let me see here. On the mischievous end. 42. Ooh. Once I hit level 42, I will evolve all of it. Probably, definitely. I'm not sure if I'll be able to evolve the Ninetale. If I'll be able to evolve all of it into a mischievous fusion, since that relies on a Duskstone, but I will definitely evolve it into a Ninetales mischievous fusion. Apologies if you hear people talking in the background. My brother and dad are having a bit of an argument. Not where I would have put the tongue on that. Yeah, like, I mean, I expect to have to put up with that while I'm at my own... oh, I'm still living with my parents. Once I get my own place, I probably won't have to worry about that. And I will be upfront with any potential roommate I have about the fact that I'm a streamer. If only to avoid that sort of thing from happening. I wonder, are like all Farfetch'd fusions just, I mean all Machamp fusions just like buff versions of the other Pokemon? Because I know there's actually a guy doing like an all EV run. Like, I'd be very curious like what an all Machamp fusion run for this game would be like. Like, that would be funny. He just, like, showing up to the Elite Four with what's basically the Pillarmen. Oh, hey. Get low leveled for this as part of the game. I wonder if that green rock's, like, just part of the scenery, or, like, if it's actually serves a purpose, because it can't be for evolving Eevee into Leafeon. You can do that with a Leaf Stone now. That will be, like, a big, like, send-off episode where I'll just, like, fuse a bunch of random Pokemon. Like, if there's any you guys want me to fuse in that episode, let me know now so I can, like, plan out catching them. Snow Run, I think? Either Snow... Oh, wait, it could also be Snorlax. Very fat bird. I'm gonna want my team to be in the early to mid 40s before I take on Koga. Fortunately for me, when I beat this... Oh, hey! I actually really want... That would be an interesting... Okay, so it is just part of the scenery. I won't, although I won't if you don't... You know, I may have mentioned this before, but my least favorite Pokemon is probably Hypno. Although, Mr. Mime isn't exactly one that I'm particularly fond of either. Like, I don't hate it per se, but like, if you were to ask me to choose who's like a Gen 1 Psychic, Alakazam and its evolutionary line are my go-to in a heartbeat, with Jynx being like a very distant second. Excluding legendaries, of course, like Mew and Mewtwo would probably be second. Mewtwo and Mew would probably be second and third, respectively. I'm just not a fan of Hypno, and I mean, not a fan of Mr. Mime, and really dislike Hypno. Admittedly, a good amount of it has to do with something in the Sebi Islands. I wonder if they'll still have the event in question. Seeing as how this ROM hack appears to take more cues from Fire. Ooh. How will I get back up there? I mean, I can't always... This looks less like a fusion and more like a Pokemon... Oh hey, that was actually pretty convenient. I think this was all made in the RPG Maker, and... Oh, hey, it's what nationality you are if you're in a country that's in between Germany and Russia. I'll let you go, little guy. Ooh, that's actually a pretty cool fusion. I might add that to, like, the send-off day. Fortunately, I get items that are knocked off back after the end of the battle, and... I'm definitely going to do at least one more playthrough of this with a different team. Although it'll probably be off camera since... but I say that because I would like to have a Gardevoir fusion on a team. This is the Pokemon Safari. I will need to go in there at some point to get the HM for Surf, if I'm not mistaken. That reminds me of those, like, time Safari. Or from the short story, A Sound of Thunder. Okay, the fusion for Roselia I can get as... The Litwick I can fuse with Roselia is apparently in the Haunted Mansion, and it looks like I can get that on Cinnabar, so as soon as I get at the HM for Surf, which I do get it, which I'll unlock the ability to use once I beat this... Oh god damn it, I hate it when that... But, hey, at least I know it doesn't have static. But yeah, as soon as I go that, I think I'll go back to Pallet Town and surf over to Cinnabar, so, if only to unlock it early. I need to remember if you need the 6th gym badge. Actually, like, I know I said that I was adding a rule where I, like, wouldn't do any off-camera stuff, but, like, I might do, like, 1 or 2 things that are, like, available to me with Surf and Strength off-camera for new areas. But I won't, like, but I will not make any story progress. Like, I'm not gonna, like, go storm the Slipco headquarters. And I will actually get the 6th Pokemon I'm adding to my team. Or one of the 2 components for it, rather. As I know, you can get Aeron on Mount Moon. Let's see what Pokemon you can get in. What Pokemon do you think that is? It's not Venomoth, I know that. Someone should really update the wiki. Like, I guess I would maybe grant myself an asterisk on the grounds, like, I would just be, like, exploring new parts of already established routes, but, like, I won't, like, say, go to Victory Road off camera. Never mind the fact that I can't do that. At least I don't think I can do that. My guess is for what that mystery Pokemon would be Larvesto, which doesn't make sense to really have it appear around this area. Inkay, which I'm not even sure if it appears in this game. Pinecone? No wait, it doesn't match the shape. I need to get it using the Poke Radar, which, despite being step-based, has... Yeah, like, that is true, like... It's more practical in a game like this if you're just, like, limiting yourself to, like, every area... like, visiting every area as opposed... Oh, Pharaoh OC! That's what the Pokemon was. Let's catch one. You know, speaking of grass types, for the longest time, I thought Shiftry was a grass and ghost type. It was actually... It was only, like, when I was playing the remakes of Ruby and Sapphire that I realized, wait, these are grass dark types. Admittedly, it didn't, like, screw me over drastically, but still, like, that is kind of an embarrassing mistake. Fortunately, I realized it before they actually added a grass ghost type, that anchor Pokemon. Makes Gardenia's aim a bit amusing. Let's see what quest we have, shall we? Oh, what do we have here? As tempting as it is to give them Ferrothorn as a joke, let's I will take care of those. Well, I guess I can take care of the Chansey one. And right now, I should really use catch a bunch of Pokemon and do all those wonder trades. You know, fun fact about zoos, they're actually a product of the French Revolution. Like, originally, zoos were... owning a bunch of exotic animals was a sign of prestige, but after the French Revolution had, like, the nobility executed, people were not really sure what on earth do we do with all these animals? Wait a second. Well, then I realized, hey, why don't we let other people see them? So that's how the concept of the zoo came into existence. I've always found it odd how they don't do the Safari Zone in more games. Like, I know, Gens 1, 3, and 4 had them, and I think Gen 6 had something, but Gens 2 and 5 did not have a counterpart, even though there isn't really any Let me look up where Surf is. Okay, Area 4. Okay, that item evolves Happiny into Chansey. You know, with the whole Dexit thing, I kind of wonder how different things would have been if they'd made it clear they were only cutting Pokemon without evolutions, but they would bring them back every time they were able to actually think of one. Like, I think that might have actually gone over a little bit better. Kind of wish that you could, like, pay double for like, twice the amount of footsteps. But yeah, I don't think Gen 7 had one. Or Gen 8. Gen 2 kind of did if you count the remakes. Ooh. So it looks like purple is for like held items. Trio. Might as well catch one so I can at least say I caught something here. Oh. Ooh. This would actually be a nice catch. Okay, I am catching at least one thing, and Trapinch would be a pretty good addition into my... I think this is the most Pokemon I've encountered without actually moving. Moved in a single spot, not counting like double bet. I wonder if they were to like put a legendary Pokemon in one of the Safari Zones, how hard would it be to catch? Ooh, I want to catch one. I know I want to catch one of these. Like, Volcarona is one of my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon. Might as well catch a few while I'm at it. Gauntlets. Higher level than most of the previous Pokemon to boot. do have to wonder though, like, well, I know it won't happen in the games, like, in universe, like, is there a policy of, like, allowing you to use Pokemon to defend yourselves? I do have to wonder. Like, I can understand why they wouldn't, like... I'm guessing I have to exit. No, that's Pokemon Infinity. All those... You know, this actually is bringing back my interest in Pokemon. Like, at the very least, like, even if I stop buying the main games, I can't... Hey, I'm still gonna check out ROM hacks every now and then. Obviously, it'll be questionable. Let's catch a Ihorn so I can get a Rhyperior. Like, that was a surprisingly cool evolution. Like, that sort of pandering to Gen 1, I am fine with. Like, introducing new evolutions to existing Pokemon, that is the right way to do it in my book. Like, honestly wonder if like there was if they considered if they debated between giving an evolution to Rhyhorn and it to the Rhyhorn family, or one to the Jinx family, since this is where we'll find Surf. But yeah, like the thing is, Jinx, Electabuzz, and Magmar are kind of like a trio, both in terms of typing, and also could have sworn it was this city's badge. But yeah, like in addition to like being from the same gen, they all received Eeved baby Pokemon. On in Gen 2. So you'd logically expect that if they received evolutions, which they would all get one at the same time, but only Electabuzz and Magmar got evolutions. Jinx did not, and I can't help but wonder if like how it was perceived in the US had a role to play with it. Because like there has to have been something they could have done. Granted, it's not like it's... Oh, hey, you're the cute ninja. If they make like an Infinite Fusion 2, you will get your wish. And if that happens, I will be more than happy to stream it. Like, if an ideal Pokemon Infinite Fusion 2 would be based on either the Sinnoh region, or it would be based on Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Like, the former, or because it's my favorite region, as I am biased towards Gen 4. The latter, or because like it would be a good follow-up, and hey, it would be fun to play them in reverse. Although, realistically, like, I'm... Honestly, when it comes to like... Like designs of fictional regions based on real-world counterparts. I prefer it when, like... I prefer it when it's based on somewhere that would be harder for me to travel to, like... For example, most of the Pokemon regions, in addition to being... for the first 4 generations, they're based on regions in Japan, like... Since there's a language barrier, like... Unova is actually my least favorite region from a design perspective for this very reason. Because it's based on New York City, which is the easiest place for me to go to. Like, with Alola, I at least would have to, like, fly a pretty significant distance to get to Hawaii. I should just look up. Like, like as I said, Mega Man here is getting a lot in my pitch in this gym. Like, the thing is, it's quite clear that they're expecting. Like, not only he does the psychic type moves it can learn beforehand and become useful, but as a fighting type, it has a resistance to poison types. I probably should equip the amulet coin if I don't. And not worth it. Long line of secret agents. This is a bit risky since Aurora Borealis is a Oh, maybe I won't have to worry about. I think it's strength that you get the ability to use after this gym, not surf. Either way, like tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, there is supposedly a city in between that you visit in between in the gyms, like. should probably deposit that Nidorino. Then again, poison types are immune to other poison types, if I'm not mistaken, so maybe this one actually won't be a half bad idea. So, fear not, Casco, you did your part. Oh hey, that's more effective than I would have. Yeah, I might actually... Ether. I was gonna say might actually be able to beat this, but... Still, like, I at least got a decent... Well, hey, I at least got a decent way through. And I'm willing to bet that with some leveling up, I probably could beat it on my second attempt. Admittedly, my best attempts so far were on the first and fourth gyms. I wonder if there's anyone who ships Brock and Erica. Get back to rewatching the entire Pokemon anime. Okay, it's done on... Okay, what? You know, I've always wondered, like, if Pokemon was to us, like, randomly change a type just for the hell of it, what? A type resistance, it's just for the hell of it, what kind of change would make the most, would cause the most chaos? Well, that does answer the question. I always find it strange whenever, like, a Pokemon that is dirty immediately used, like, self-destruct or explosion in after surviving what would otherwise be a fatal attack. It can be annoying, admittedly, but... Feels like that's a bit under-leveled for this route. Yes, I have. I've caught several. Let's see. If I recall correctly, there's like one segment where we'll actually have like the ability to get one of those items. Why even give me the choice if you're gonna say... Oh, it's like, just check it, Ekinson. I'm going to guess that when I beat Koga, that cone will be removed. Not even giving me the prompt telling me there's nothing there. That's unusual. I did say I would evolve Casco after she hit 42, but you know what? I'll just consider that like a post. It's gym reward. So, I mentioned in ideas for future streams earlier, and one game I've been sitting on the fence about streaming is Sekiro, since, hey, I might as well try the Soulsborne at least one genre, and I have a bit of a question about that. Like, am I correct in assuming that I would be better off playing with a controller as opposed to, like, a mouse and keyboard? Because, like, I was watching Kira TV talk about how Wolong does not have the best of PC ports. And I do have an Xbox controller in my room, so this is more of a just so I know what I'm getting into as opposed. But yeah, I'm actually doing better than I would have guessed. Let's give... The good news is that he's only used max potions, and I don't think he'll burst out a full restore. Oh, well, at least I got some hit. Electra should be enough to take it. Fortunately, Toxic does not deal any damage when the move is actually used. Yeah, second time. That's honestly not bad for... My job here is done. You literally didn't do anything. Yeah, Toxic is one of the Let's actually heal up right now. I just wanted to make sure I had to re-register it or not. I kinda wish there was an option to, like, automatically switch out the registered. I'm pretty sure that there's, like, another one. That there's at least one more reward milestone, but I also know that if you do a certain number of quests, you can get Mew to start appearing in the wild. It has something to do with the karma system, like... Ooh, thank you. You know that Pokemon Smash or Pass trend that Markiplier started? I can't help but wonder what Pokemon gets hit with Pass the most. Oh, it's because there is a website. Then why are you fighting me? Okay, so Klefki is the one is the radar Pokemon, at least at this time of day. Still, I do find it odd that bikers use poison types. Like, I expect them to use fighting types, if anything. That looks like it has underwear on its head. I've always found it odd how, like some Pokemon, how, like, some of the stone Pokemon don't learn any moves after you evolve them with the stone, but then you have Pokemons like Gallade who do. If we can survive this water pulse, I'll catch it. Ooh. Never mind. Wait, was that supposed to be... That was a woman's sprite in the overworld, not a man. That was worth going down there for. I've always wondered, in the anime, Ash's Muck is very affectionate. What gender is it? I'm gonna guess I should not have been able to do that, but... have sworn I learned that this one was male. Oh well. There, I do not want. I will not be having a repeat of what happened yesterday. Nice. Like, there was actually a bit of a aim back in like X and Y, where because of the music you had when you fought Genesis, people thought it was a joke. His name was actually supposed to be Dennis. But yeah, feels good that I remember to save this time. This is certainly a more realistic than what was in the original games, where you had to like get a drink for the thirsty guards. Like, it would be one thing if you could just like get them a lemonade, but no, it had to be a special tea. Like, if that was what they were gonna go for, they should have basically let you actually bring Officer Jenny to the guy and arrest him for corruption or something. You weren't gonna say anything new? That guy's actually pretty chill. I'm gonna take a wild guess and assume that I have... That... Oh right, there's two gym... There's the unofficial gym. But hey, even if the Pokemon Center is blocked off, now that which it fortunately isn't. I actually would have... Or else what? No, really, what are you gonna do? Like... You know, this does make me wonder, like, why isn't it, like the slip building like a stock exchange or something? Like, that would be the more logical. I was, looking for the bathroom. I think I'll actually be better for this rematch with Giova. I'll be making a trip back to the Pokemon Center and also to the mart for some healing items. It would have been funny if that had gotten Magnemite burned. Okay, looks like I'm gonna have to go to Fuchisa for a supply run. Yeah, let's go to Fuchisa since it has best girl Janie. Yes, I am aware Misty is in this game. It's just us without. It's just her game counterpart isn't as big as her presence in the anime, and well, I'm trying to think if Jane even appeared in the anime. Not what I would have gone with, but... You know, fun fact about... You know, there's a lot of stuff about the human body that you would not, I'd guess. I mean, if this was Pokemon Tower Defense, I actually would have joined Team Rocket. That would be an interesting idea if someone decides to remake that Flash game. Like, I know there's some people who got it working offline, but the original servers, alas, got taken down. Which is a pity, since that would have been a fun stream. Like, if I'd started it, like, back when Flash was still active, I probably would have actually streamed that a few times. It's almost like Fearbone's upset with how small it is in comparison to the other half. I think this is where the good stuff is. How do I get up there is the question. Oh. It would have helped if they'd shown... That's the wrong animation. Oh, there's a... See you later. I'll wait until I beat Giovanni, but I'll call it a stream after. Well, looks like my mouse and keyboard are done. Or they stopped responding for a second. Fortunately, they're responding now. bartered to the straits and writer. It's a civilized Egypt that they respect. We have it's ours. They have no shoes. I'm a European superstate. Every required to debate. Can't betray you if I never was something. I can't betray something I never was a member of. I was supposed to go to Crimson City before, which is this new place that they added before or after, or Saffron City. It doesn't really matter anyway. I mean, I doubt they'd make it so that, like, you could miss an entire section of the game. Like, they would either make it so that you have to wait until after the Elite. They would have to make it so that you have to wait until after the Elite Four at the bare minimum. I should really learn how to ensure that I should really learn how to mix audio in OBS. I say this because times now I would be perfect to pull up some I don't know, Heaven Shall Burn or something. High in the sky, where I can fly. I really should get a better ice type move. I love it when I gets the typing right in this game. Yeah? Mm-hmm. No comment on that cotton pasta. Show me some and I'll show you some. As an agent, provoking people like this is my... Made the wrong choice. You know, I was expecting that I'd have to stream at least alone by myself once, but you know what? I'm perfectly fine with this. It gives me time to think about details. Since I have the card key, I can actually just exit the building once I finish this battle and do a bunch of grinding off screen. actually been funny if Mr. Chop had KO'd himself by... Why were you patrolling in such an erratic behavior? I mean, round the desks. Oh, hey, I actually knew a girl. Well, as tempting as it is to see how well I'd fare against Giovanni right now, I think that I'll save tackling in what's left of Slipcoat for tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm Andreas Rebel, and I will see you next assignment.